So what's weird is you get to a point with your collection, like you forget where or how you got this, but you remember, like, I remember seeing this on the shelf and I was like, man, I want to check this out. Women, I grew up in the '90s, and there are certain things like over the top action, over the top sexuality. Yeah, of course I had to get this. And J. Scott, like, if you were a child, like if you were a kid during the '90s, there's something about J. Scott Campbell's art that just screams to you. But I always wanted to upgrade this. It's not bad, but it's small. It's flimsy. What do you need? Something a little bigger. Yeah, let's take a look at this monstrous book. Like this thing is huge. Um, I say this with love. This is the problem when you get J. Scott Campbell and Scott Dunbier together with no supervision. I mean, this thing is like this has got to be one of my biggest books. So anyway, let's take a look. So first things first, I'm not going to be able to get all of this on the screen. I'm going to go through. I want to go through kind of both these, maybe for the first issue. The other big one, first, big shout out to Panelbound Comics. I was able to I wasn't able to do the Kickstarter on this one, but between some whatnot gift cards, like they're always giving away gift cards, but I was able to manage to like save up some cash and be able to budget it so I could get it late, and luckily like sneaking right before this ended. I think I just got I think I ended up just getting the standard non Kickstarter one, just the standard one, which I am 100% fine. But like I said, I'm glad we got Kickstarters. I'm glad we're getting more of these Act 4 books. I'm a huge fan of this company with Scott Dunbier. It's just the problem, these aren't the easiest books to get at times. So I appreciate when you got companies like Panelbound that's helping out the average person. So anyway, so I quickly flipped through and stretched the book, but man, this is one of my favorite end sheets. And there is something magic. Like, I guess what's kind of interesting, this is very much like an animation. Like, this is something you see with classic animation, but not with this level of sex or craftsmanship. Like, it's just fun to see. It was a perfect, this kind of describes J. Scott Campbell's art. And this is a hunker, like they all are. And like I said, I know there's a whole team behind it. I am so glad we're able to get books like this. And I'll say this, like most artist editions are, because I got this one right here, which I love. But John Romita Sr., like some of the classics, there's there's something nice and fun about getting something like this was from the '90s. Like he's still around. There's something about getting something newer. And man, this is. And if you haven't read Danger Girl, like there's not much plot here. I'm not gonna lie. But the cool thing that's great about Danger Girl, it's just it's just fun, silly action. So I'm kind of curious, like, okay, so we got this here. And like I said, I don't want to do this for everyone, but it's just kind of interesting. I do like doing this because you see like what get emphasized, what gets downgraded. Oh man, they're doing so they're playing with computer coloring just kind of kicked in. So they can kind of play around with the lighting and color hold. So like, yeah, in this one, gotta be careful because I don't want to damage this old trade paperback. That's interesting. And like I said, it's crazy seeing this stuff too, because it's like, white pen. And the thing with Jay Scott, especially back then, he put in a ton of line work. I like usually I'm the guy that's like, oh, give me the thick blacks. But yeah, it's interesting, especially he's doing layout, he's breaking layout rules, but it works in a way, especially for Danger Girl. And like, God, because this could be the middle of the day. Just a quick. Yeah, it's interesting how color changes this so much. Also, yeah, it looks like digital. I'm guessing digital lettering too. Yeah, because this had to be Comics Craft. What's this line? Let's take a quick look. This is Josh geeking out for like an hour. Story script, inks, colors, lettering. British, yeah, comics. Oh man, this is old school comics. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, interesting. Like I said, I don't want to do it. There's certain pages I want to look at, but man, like I haven't had a chance to look at this yet. Whew. And this is where I think he shines in two areas, like big action and the acting. I guess is the easiest way to say this. And it's interesting too, because like some of this doesn't read the best, but it works because it's so stylized. And of course, yeah, like the cheeky. It's this is very much feels like this is a PG-13 made for like a 14-year-old boy. It's not deep, but it's like we don't always need that. Sometimes yeah, I've read stories where I cry and I like makes me kind of wonder about the human existence. Once in a while, it's a Friday night, you just want to enjoy a burger. I mean, like, I also love like the little details. Yeah, it looks like it was done with white ink. Yeah, I keep saying like it's interesting how much like the colorist brings because I feel like the colorist kind of nails down like shows you what's important in the immediate. But yeah, because like Jay Scott, like he's got like it's crazy at this level of cartoony, but then you can apply it to a helicopter. Like I said, so and you can tell he's a student of Jim Lee. It's like look at all the detail there. Like in Alex Toth and stuff, it's like how do we simplify this? Jay Scott's like give me more, and I think it works well too because you got like the sea being like this thick blacks. And yeah, this was the preview. This was like the ash can get you into the adventure. And I think what because it's like Danger Girls, Abby Chase. I forget the rest of them, but like I think what kind of worked with this, it was just cheeky like cheesecake fun. Like it literally felt like a summer movie. Young Scott Dunbier right here. Oh yeah. Hey, page one from issue one. Not bad. To Scott from my best buddy Campbell. I actually like that little drawing of Jason. That's like one of my favorite things so far. Yeah, and what's interesting too, because it's like she's almost becoming the panel layout, but that thick, like you don't see that much on Jay Scott. Actually, that thick, I kind of wish he played around with that thick panel line a little bit more, because he ended up doing like a lot like this, like a lot of little stuff. Man, like, and I guess that's the interesting thing too with a artist edition. You get to see like choices where it's like, especially earlier work where it's like, man, this is where they went and they could have gone elsewhere. And like just the level of like he had to look at a lot of Jeeps. Drawing cars are hard. Drawing cars in distress are really hard. And love the use of white ink. Oh, one of the coolest things about doing traditional is pulling out the white ink. Like you want to feel amazing. And yeah, what's crazy is he knows when like since he's inking all these little details, like all these little lines, he can do the background, but then have the foreground be a solid black. Like that, like, oh. And you know what's nuts? This shouldn't work. This page layout shouldn't work, but it does. Also, I always like this is always an interesting thing because I feel like it works and it doesn't work, but because it's like you're calling attention to that, but you should already call attention to it. Look, man, I need to steal some of this, like just the detail on the like weathering of the boat. 'Cause that's like easy. Don't have to think about quick stuff, but it makes a difference, especially for rocks and different textures. Yeah, the create like this was the like Sam Keith, like I don't know, it's like that crazy kind of jolted like panel layout border you would not see later on. And even just having this thick, like I was saying, had a box behind it. Yeah, not Sean Connery. It makes sense because like a jungle, you're gonna have a lot of little lines. Oh man, I didn't even really look at. Oh, I skipped over this. Oh, that's some of the coolest. Oh, I need to steal that. That's a great idea. But I was about to say it's interesting, and then you go into this where it's like I'm kind of curious, like How much of this? Oh, there's some pages missing. No, is there? No, there can't be this many. Sorry, it's no, there's some pages missing. Page 16, wow. Okay, so yeah, this isn't the complete. Oh, that's a shame. Oh man, I knew there was some, but yeah, that's a good amount. Ah, shoot. Yeah, it happens. But as I say, it's interesting because like you almost get this feels a little bit more modern because it's like so cleaned up. Man, sorry, it's okay. Knowing that that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, page 12 and 13. That's interesting because yeah. So in the original, this flows a little better because it's like you got the first mission, and then yeah, I just want to pull this up because like yeah, the color holds. This feels like a Bond like intro, and I guess it's interesting too because like this is clearly made for like a certain audience. But like with Bond, it's like oh, you can kind of get with all these women. Abby, yeah, it's like it's not like she's sexually. I don't know. It's an interesting. It's a very '90s thing. Oh my, the chromish color. Yeah, some of these rendering techniques. Oh man, like he draws some of the best eyelashes. I cannot deny that. And then you got these thick blacks, like yeah, kind of to mimic that coloring style. But yeah, it's okay. I knew there were some skips, but okay, so it kind of goes back. This this was a fun way too to show like each member of the team, kind of showing their personalities. But yeah, like so much detail. Like the world map show in Australia, the tech. These little boards, like backgrounds like that, doesn't seem like it would be hard, but man, it ain't easy. Yeah, and I think this was done with a marker. If I wouldn't be surprised. And here's another thing, because like quickly flipping through, like I love that boat. I love. I won't lie. That was definitely like a stark like. That's something I want to do in comics. And yet, titillating, great. Like, but man, like the amount of textures and details in the towel. It's like that is something I would never do. And it's interesting too to then see the reflection, which is a common thing to do with the reflection, is just kind of like drop out the detail. But yeah, even there, like that towel has more detail rendering than like most of my pages. Signs of the Time, the Hercules, which it's interesting because yeah, it feels right and it's great looking back on that. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, oh my gosh. Of course you got and look, you're here for Jay Scott. Jay Scott knows what he's doing. He knows why you bought this book. And also, didn't Comics Craft. So I recommend like this is definitely something I recommend like reading the trade before you pick up the artist edition. Like just because it's like you're not gonna get the complete story, which it's fine. It's not made to be. Yeah, because it's little things. Like I always thought that was drawn, and that's an interesting way too. Like how do you show someone talking in a headset? Also, I wish we got more of this, Jay Scott, because man, that's some bold, sort of like um he's a phenomenal artist and like he's still working. We got some amazing covers. There's something about doing interiors that's different from covers. What's interesting is like he does not have the strongest black, which I'm not a complaint because he leaves a lot open. Like he leaves a lot of room for the colors to play. And yeah, you have to like. I almost feel like with Jay Scott, you have to have a good colorist. But yeah, there's little things with like doing live, with doing interiors that you miss out on with doing covers. Kind of just going back with that white ink and just such great marks. And that's the thing too. I didn't think I would be picking up on like how many crazy textures. Here's the other thing, like great cover. Yeah, everyone talks about this. I guarantee you, the bubbles took forever. The bubbles were the pain in the ass in this. Like even for the colors, like everyone involved. I wonder if yeah, so this skips a lot too. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember them saying like they didn't have the complete pages, but it's always I guess it's always kind of crazy because it's like this is newer. You would think they'd be able to track these down a little easier, but it is what it is. Yeah, he puts. I will say that say whatever you want about Campbell, especially back then. He knew how to fill a page. And he knew how to do it with. And the thing is, too, this all feels right. Oh my gosh, this issue's almost done. We didn't have. Oh, they skipped like the bathroom scene. Oh, that's a shame. There's a great bit in this issue, and it's like that's a shame. That's a shame. Oh no, I guess we also everyone talks about like this about J. Scott Campbell. I love this is gore like what a what a great way to frame something. Like I kind of need to steal that more often. Especially if you kind of want to have a quieter moment. And yeah, don't like I swear like him and Selfie draw the best feet. An amazing back. Yeah, I love how he does lashes. I love how he does faces. Okay, this is a bathroom bit. Like this is the other thing I love about Campbell. It's like, yeah, sexy women, but it was always funny. Like even here, don't. And yeah, did this gag go on a little too long? Sure, but you know, it's like it's Danger Girl. It's like that's why we're here. I also like how you have the not Nazis. Even that mask turned up. Like that is such a great. What's interesting too, and it might just be like I wonder if he inked these on vellum because there's like no pencil marks or underdrawings. Creepy twins. Yeah, his back like okay. This one I'm a little curious about. Issue 3, page 10. This one I'm a little bit because oh, smart, smart, smart. And this is why I think like sometimes having the book here helps. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's just they just got rid of this. This had to be on vellum. Unless they're doing some digital editing. I'm not quite sure. Interesting. Yeah, some choices were made here. Whew. Yeah. How do you depict like moving snow too? Because it's like, yeah, because I feel like having them in black, it's like you almost can't have too bold of a line. You gotta do like a bunch of wispy little ones. Ah, and that's a great scene. Ah, it's been a while since I've read Danger Girl, and that's what's kind of fun about like I think like looking at an artist's edition and then going back to read the comic, because you kind of get to enjoy both. Battle Chasers, nice, great acting, and even like this clearly could have been from a horror. Speaking of which, and that's the thing. It's like I think with Jay Scott, like in some ways, it's going to sound a little crazy. I think we got cheated in some ways. Yeah, like the recap page, but and I love the TNA, but it's like, man, he could do other emote. I kind of wish we could have saw him do like a horror, wish do some other stuff. This villain, like, I love just like that with the eyes, like, and it's crazy. Like Jay Scott will do all these like all these little details, and like to get like flat blacks. And I think like not the same, but I think I stole a little bit. Like this is one thing I got was taking like drawing in the white lines over the black again. Oh yeah, and it's like in some ways, yeah, you need a colorist because it's like you couldn't do this as black and white. Like you need almost like a tone to help break this up. This is man, I'm so glad. Like this was one I wanted to get, then I was like, ah, I'm so glad I was able to get this. I love the silhouettes. This was a great moment too. 12, 13, interesting. You would think this would be a page turn. But yeah, like that is just whoa. And it like here's where I love artist editions. How does like a artist handle wood grain? Like, that it's like it's questions like that. Like, how do they handle this? How do they handle a problem that like everyone has to draw? And the other thing I'll say, and it's a little thing, I love like covers, but there's something about interiors. Yeah, I just want to look at this one. Yeah, because the color's almost like you lose so much of this, which makes sense. You lose so much of this detail to read faster. But there's little moments like the faces here, just acting like you miss in doing interiors, and I wish we got more from Jay Scott. I can't blame him nowadays. Like, and he's still working. And I get it. I'm glad we get more out of him, but yeah, it's just not the same. That symbol too. That was such a great iconography. Also, this summer ups J. Scott Campbell in so many ways because it's like it's cartoony, but it's so rendered. Even like the more realistic light bulb. So yeah, this is we were worried she got kidnapped. God, that is a great, like, just great villain design. Even now, like, the thing is with him, there's a certain weight and power behind him each time like, once again, like, this could have been horror. I'm glad he did action. But man, oh, whew. And I think this is too, like, and this is where I get in trouble. I do the rigid, like, panels, which, by the way, read my comp, Bang the Battle of the Tiger, free at joshgreathouse.com. But anyway, this is where I get in trouble because I always do the grid. And in some ways, like, this works better here. Yeah, this is one I need to like pour over, take photos, like really look at stuff. Like this is almost too much. And I say that where it's like I almost wish because it's like you got black here. Like even black in the ground here might have helped more because he did it here. And I think this is where you appreciate like an Alex Toth like this because you know what this is what I want out of my comics where it's like quick to read like that. It's like it takes a second on a great. You know what this J Scott does well is cliffhangers, like knowing what image to end an issue on and start an issue on. Okay, minor thing. I'm kind of glad we moved away from this with comics. I always hated this turn the page, even in a book this size. Oh man, speaking of color holds though, I almost think the Black Blood looks a little better because it makes him look like a more like B movie kind of villain, which that's what it feels like. SS specimens, yeah, oh yeah. It's fun to actually seeing the little detail. Like the other cool thing in the artist edition is actually getting to see all the details, like little Easter eggs and stuff. Yeah, and he has like a different texture for different stones, and man, it is crazy. I believe, yeah, this turns him into like a Hulk in like experiments. But man, it's such a cool Campbell. Campbell does acting better than most. Like he is a master. I mean, just the body language. And what's interesting too is this character's smaller, but he's technically like he's always above him. And even this, like having the beam here to show the like hide the gore is a nice touch. And then yeah, then it's like this is what he's being fed. Yeah, this is someone's pride collection. This is a copy, which I am fine. Like, yeah, maybe it's not. Man, someone's taking care. No, I think someone just took care of that page. And yeah, like I said, don't get me wrong. I love his women. I love his TNA. But I guess to me, it's like an artist, it's like, okay, that's cool. Ooh, I could use that. Yeah, because even like yeah, he will render like because even like this back pattern, like you kind of need that to do that. Oh man, you need a lot of lines to kind of sometimes show something, but it's like, is it worth it or not? And I love like this. I love with the panel layouts, and I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I flipped right to it. Yeah, it wow. Comics Craft like they do a lot. They do a lot with small time, like small spaces. I almost wish we could have got like one with like I guess it was all digital though. No, because yeah. Whew. Now I remember I heard this on second count from Stelfreeze talking to Jason Pearson, but it's like the only thing that comics like the only budget comics have is time. Because it's like, do you have the time to do everything? And yeah, this was like you didn't get backgrounds here because it went here. And Jace got like no wonder the man does covers because like whoo. And what a fun, weird design for like a futuristic sub. And yeah, like all the villains are a little bit like it's a little bit S&M in all the right ways. Because it feels like they're the villains. I wanted to look at this. I should have kept that page open. So I was just a tad bit curious with that. Okay. So that's completely that makes sense. It's completely colored whole red. It's just weird they would use a blue like that. I guess it's like maybe at the time the technology. I just figured it was so dark it'd be so close. Giant eel, you gotta have a giant eel. That's the other thing I kind of love about Danger Girl. This is a world where you can have a giant eagle or giant eel. Mythical villains. And I feel like with me, I would want to black this. Like it's interesting seeing kind of this versus like the choices I would make. I should just keep this open. So, Johnny. Oh, chapter 6. Okay, that makes sense. It's all the credits. Yeah, that's, huh, that is, wow. So, yeah, you're not going to, like I say, you're not going to get the full story. Oh my gosh, look at those clouds. Man, he would go ham on stuff. Great, like, knowing when to, like, sometimes to show, like, the little action. Because, yeah, like, how do you show they're Nazis without saying they're Nazis? Oh, but like this is what I'm saying. It's like little stuff like this. It's like, yeah, you might use that an element in a cover, but you might not. Oh man. His giant like group scenes, but then like you get moments like this. Like I said, I wish we got more interiors. And he knew exactly when to drop like that, page turn, like yeah, and I feel like this had to be a photocopy, but like man, the level of detail here, great action. Just here's it like it's titillating, but man, drawing like two figures like that harder than it seems. Whew. Also, I love how this is clearly just like Snake Eyes and whatnot. Nothing like distracting the guards with a little six. In interest. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, sorry. This just threw me off because I'm like, why is this white? Did I damage this? That's the okay. Here's the thing. This has a pullout. Like this has. Oh, we'll get back to that. He has so many pullouts in here, and I can't show you this. I want to, but my camera's set up like I can't physically show this. So you have to get this book. But look at this insanity. Like, I think this is a cover. Yeah, gatefold cover. Yeah, it's crazy because, oh, wait a minute. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott. Scott, you madman. Holy. Oh my gosh. Oh my. Scott, you insane madman, you. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. Scott, you madman. You know what? I can tell. I feel like the Act 14 puts a lot into each book, but there's something about this one. This feels like a promise or a personal. This feels like a reward. Oh my gosh. Get this. Just get this. I mean, look at the level of tech here. And this is not what you think. Like, when I think of J. Scott Campbell, it's this. Nothing wrong with this, but you don't think this. And he deliver like you kind of forget. And especially I feel like because this would be a good one too. Yeah, that madman. It might help if I looked up what issue this was. Chapter 7, page 2. Come on. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, because okay, it's using. Oh, that's what these are. It's all the screens. Makes sense. But like, you almost because of the colorist, like you almost, and it makes sense. Like so much of this gets dropped out because that's what you want. That quick read. Oh my gosh, J. Scott Campbell, you madman. Yeah, this is insane. Like, I'm glad because this is Vellum. So Vellum, like, if you watch the Poison Elves review, that was Vellum. But yeah, they inked it over here, which. Whoo, 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 whoo. Scott, like he put in the work in this miniature Hitler with bowling. Like, oh my gosh, this book is so insane because you get like great locations, sexy women, amazing action. Then miniature Adolf Hitler. This I think is a cool way to show like someone speaking like that, especially technically we wouldn't get that anymore because signals are clear, but the iconography works so well. Also, like this feels like Uncle Creepy watching Abby about to go into a trap. Oh, there's another. Oh, oof, I'm not prepared. I am not. There's another gatefold. I'm not prepared. Yeah, basically, the old man wants immortality. But yeah, like that's some Akira BS, and I'm here for it. Gets reborn as Atlas. Oh, once again, you can see some of it. Would love to show you all. But that's why you buy this. Oh, Scott, you are a mad. What? Okay, 18 and 19, 24 and 23. Okay, I get they had to do this some. Yeah, I get they had to do this. It's interesting the limitations they had to do for some of the like bells and whistles. You know what's interesting too? I've heard nonstop. You never draw lines on women because you make them look older, and it's like there's something like he captures. Whew, yeah, showing the tattoo, but those faces. Yeah, that's just a great sequence and scene, showing the eye. Yeah, and I didn't pick up the other one. I wish I could have, but it's like limitations. This is such a great. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of my favorite page layouts of his. Just like the moment the beat. Okay, okay. Josh is rambling, but Josh. Okay, we love to give, especially in the community, we love to give writers all the like, oh, it's the writers, it's the writers. But sometimes with the pacing like this comes down to the artists. Because it's like you didn't have to make this one like making this as long as this. Like there's so many smart choices here. Like zooming in here, then zooming out, showing both their faces. And also, you know what too? There's not a lot of background to this, but it's like the acting is more important. Whereas, like with this moment, maybe we need more of the background, kind of show the situation where they are. Yeah, it's interesting how sometimes he'll use like strong blacks, and then other times it's like nada. This is hard too because they were teammates, they were on missions, and it's like the big heel. She falls into the explosion. Look at that moon, like, and he draws like he does things with lips. I wish because I have a standard formula and I need to like switch around. I need to like play around with stuff. I mean, like, I love too that he uses just almost like pure black for water. And granted, they're at night, but man, because I think that was like Abby's sister. But yeah, like here are the covers. Yeah, the cover volume two. Yeah, and it's interesting seeing these because like, or yeah, and it's fun too. Like this is part of the book design too because I think nope, different. Wait a minute. This one's cool too because it has some of the pencils and stuff. Oh my, I forgot this had a pullout. Oh my gosh, this also had a gatekeep. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was okay. That was the big cover I was drilling over. Scott Williams. Yeah, Scott Dunbier. Of course, Scott Dunbier was. Of course, this has a gate. Yeah, yeah. This is the old paperback trade. Of course, it does. Of course, I question Scott Dunbier. Ah, this one I love. Like, you know what? Too like doing fishnets are harder than it seems because it's keeping that pattern going. And drawing the knives, like the fact too that he can handle like leather in different ways. Oh, I love his pencils. Especially, I think this is like later on, but man, he renders like I swear he uses a soft mechanical pencil. It's just fun to see. Oh, that is cool. Yeah. You know, it's a shame he hasn't done movie posters either. Like, and I get maybe you want to use like Photoshop or use, but it's like, man, he could have laid out some cool movie posters. Yeah, this looks like what GI Joe. Oh man, another gatefold. Oh no, how terrible. Oh, to live in a world with so many gatefolds. Oh, the snake. The snake pattern. Woo, hoo, 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 hoo. I don't even know. I don't know how I look at this. Oh yeah, this was later on. Gorgeous stuff, but yeah, this was later on with him. Oh yeah, because I love that penciling technique he would do. And then like yeah, because other people would come back like Danger Girl continued, but he never did the interiors. God, such a great jacket. I remember that cover was pure just. This one I love too. Like I love the sex, but it's also the iconography. Especially, I always love too how people would lay out like different heads and faces. Is there another hooded cobra? Is there another gate? There is another gatefold, isn't there? I feel like there is. Scott, you're having me question everything I know about. No, no. Okay, this book has like I said, this feels like it was a promise. Yeah, and what's interesting too, because like, of course, I flip to a page. Okay, yeah, this is a perfect example. His women are a little rounder and a little fuller. They become a little bit more elongated and thinner. Yeah, he does such amazing backgrounds. Whew, like that. Because that's the thing. Like everyone's looking at this, but man, like he puts in the work. I like you cannot say Jay Scott does not put in the work. Yeah, look at those pants. Yeah, because he handles like texture and form. he handles those so well. And this is more like current J. Scott, which I do appreciate, but there's something about like that old school 90s one I love. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, and this was in the interior too. Yeah. Oh. Also too, I love like this thicker, like I said, that thicker style. Ho 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 ho. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh God, this is badass. Yeah, I wish I was. You know what kills me? I'm older than when J. Scott Campbell did a lot of these. Oh, I love the flat black of this character. Like that's the thing I love about Campbell. He'll render stuff perfectly, but then when he drops like a flat back on the character, black on a character, oh yeah, this is tons of TNA, great stuff in the background. Doesn't have the same impact as like I love that flat black with him. Yeah, and these are thinner like the thinner lines too. And I haven't read like okay, first of all, I have some like erotica comics. This feels more pornographic than most, just because it's like holy shit, Scott. But yeah, this is an amazing. I'm glad I got this. It's fun seeing J. Scott Campbell like his originals. Yeah, and okay, here we go. Oh, you know what's crazy is like you almost could just ink these. Like, yeah, some of his commission work. I love seeing his pencils because it's interesting how much he draws through. Okay, the other thing I love seeing, especially at this stage, it's kind of like what's important, what can you get away with? Because you know, it's like a cigar. It's like, yeah, he's gonna render all this perfectly, but yeah, it's like, okay, let me capture the weight here. Deuce his back and he's pissed. Yeah, his cover work, like some of his commission work. And I won't lie, there's something about like, and I get it, you know, team up with Batman or whatever. But there's something I kind of like about Danger Girl that was just more like it's just Danger Girl. Like her and it's like I love Army of Darkness, J. Scott Campbell, but same thing. J. Scott Campbell. Bruce Campbell, oh my gosh. Too many Campbells. Yeah, and this was his other comic. And I never read any Gen 13. I know I'm missing out on that. Then yeah, back with then the what's cool is these are two separate because if you look at the numbering and just the posing, they're two different. But yeah, whew, this is an amazing. This is a fun collection. If you're a J. Scott Campbell fan, 90s like art. It's also just crazy to remind yourselves like how detailed this man used to be. Like, I'm glad we still have him doing covers, but there's something I wish we got more interiors out of him because this is some magic. Like, there's so much magic on these pages. You know what? I'm jealous of the I would love. I wish we got more pencils with this. It's the only thing because I love these flat inks, especially seeing what he does. But man, because yeah, it's like I said, and it's what's interesting too is it feels like he doesn't. It feels like he knew what he was doing from the ground, like with the inks. Like there was never like, ah, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should go back and do this. It was like, no, I need to do that. Like there's a certain confidence with his ink. So yeah, Act Four, Danger Girl. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Like go out seriously. Like make sure you have a trade of this, but definitely it's such a fun collection. So thank you, Act Four. Thank you, Panel Bound Comics, for helping me get this. So and yeah, have a good one, y'all.